An airport surrounded by mountains, where only a few airlines are certified to operate into. Today, to celebrate the first year of the Flight Sim Passion channel, we'll be flying an incredible approach into JUNEAU Airport. But we gotta power up our Alaska Airlines 737-800 first, which is located in Seattle Tacoma International Airport. So, we've got battery on, emergency exit lights set on, ground power is already available, so let's turn it on. ADIRS set to nav, airspeed warnings, number 1 is checked, number 2 is... okay, thank you, is also checked. Flap and slots, checked. Underneath this panel we've got yaw damper on, fuel aft 1 set on. Let's turn on both the chimes and the fasten seatbelts. Window heat, left and right side set on, hydraulic pumps set on. Air temperature already set to forward, we've got the backs set to auto. And to check the pressurization panel, we already got our data into the EFB, so planned flight level is 360 and the landing altitude is around 25 feet. Let's put 36,000 in the pressurization panel altitude and landing altitude set to 0.
Hey look, that's our baggage.
Auto brake set to RTO. Let's get onto the FMC. Seam brief route. Everything looks fine, so let's select this route. There we go, route uplink ready. Let's load it. So let's now put our expected departure, which is 16 left for now via the Seattle 8 departure. Okay, as you can see here, it's just a 165 heading out of runway 16 left. And then we'll get vectored by ATC towards our first waypoint. And we've got no arrival expected for this flight. Let's go on to the init ref page. So let's execute everything up and change the flight level, which is going to be 360.
Got the window down.
What's this sound? What the hell just happened?
Cabin crew clear to arm these lights and cross-check.
Okay, let's quickly set up our MCP. So flight directors on, auto thrust armed, video speed plus 15 is 160. Let's now set VNAV and LNAV. Runway heading 165. And we'll now request our clearance for our altitude. Shuttle clearance, good morning from Alaska 61, gate November 7 with information Quebec, requesting clearance to JUNEAU.
Alaska 61, Seattle clearance. You're cleared to JUNEAU Airport as filed via the Seattle 8 Alpha departure. Maintain 10,000. Expect flight level 240, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 119.2.
Okay, the boarding has completed. Fuel pumps coming on. And this time we'll also turn on the center ones. And let's advise the crew on the ground that we are ready for push and start by pushing the anti-collision lights to the on position.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Good morning, sir.
Release parking brakes, please.
Releasing parking brakes.
Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Okay, perfect. Let's wait.
Is this guy getting into the engine?
Wait, what?
Where is this guy going?
Please set parking brakes.
Setting parking brakes. Okay, the pushback is now completed, so packs off. And let's start engine number 2. (25% and 2). Engine fuel cutoff 2. Idle. Engine 2 has started, starting number 1. Okay, we've got a good engine start. Let's advise the crew on the ground.
Unlocking gear.
Okay, perfect. In the meanwhile, after start checklist, we've got engine start switches continues, generators 1 and 2 on, ABU off, ABU bleed off, packs and isolation valve set to auto, probeat on, flaps 5.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Thank you. Flight control checks. We've got pull left, pull right, neutral, pull up, pull down, neutral, rudder, pull left, pull right, neutral. Okay, flight control is checked. This clock is already set to alt off. Let's get the call for taxi here. Ground control, Alaska 61, ready for taxi.
Alaska 61, ramp control, good morning. Continue on Whiskey, Bravo, then contact ground on 121.7.
Continue Whiskey, left to Bravo, and then 121.7 for Alaska 61. Parking brakes off. Taxi lights coming on. Turn on the right side. And let's start moving. Seattle ground, Alaska 61.
Alaska 61, Seattle ground. Taxi to holding point, Charlie. Runway 16 left.
Alaska 61, Seattle Tower. Runway heading. Cleared for takeoff, runway 16 left.
Runway heading, clear for takeoff, 16 left for Alaska 61. So lights already set for takeoff. We're looking good. Let's line up. One 6 left is now identified. Let's go for takeoff. Chrono. Engine stabilized. Toga. Okay, power set, indications normal. H-speed's alive.
80 knots.
Checked.
Rotate.
V1, rotate. Let's get this beauty up. Very gently.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear is coming up. Enough speed. Come on, day. Okay, we've now got N1. Oh wow, look at this. We're getting out of the clouds. Beautiful.
Radar contact, turn left heading 070.
Turn left heading 070 for Alaska 61. Okay, after takeoff checklist, lights off, engines and switches off, got auto brakes set to off, gear off, flaps up.
Alaska 61, direct Alpsy.
Turn left direct to Alpsy for Alaska 61.
Alaska 61, climb to flight level 240.
Continue climb flight level 240 for Alaska 61. Lights coming off. And the altimeter is now set to standard. We can also release the cabin crew. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking from the flight deck. Did you know that today's flight is part of the milk run segments that are flown every single day by Alaska Airlines 737s? Now you might ask, what are you talking about? Milk run? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Alaska in general has always been a tricky place for logistical and supplies connections. Basically, transporting any supplies or cargo between cities such as Yakutat, Sitka, or even JUNEAU is much preferable through planes and ships. If you'd like to see more Alaska Airlines flights on the channel, let me know in the comment section below.
Alaska 61, continue descent to 13,000. Expect the Foxtrot approach runway 26.
Continuing descent to 13,000, expecting the Foxtrot approach runway 26 for Alaska 61. Okay, Foxtrot approach 26. Oh, it just crashed. Okay, let's try again. Wait, I can't find it. What's that? Well, let me explain. This approach basically does not exist. Well, kinda. Alaska Airlines, in order to operate into these beautiful but challenging places, especially in the worst scenarios, developed and certified some private approaches, which are obviously unknown to most flight simmers. So I decided to do some research. You can find an updated chart on the Infinite Flight community website, which basically makes you fly through the river located southeast of the airport. But I didn't like that enough. So I decided to check the famous LDA approach for runway 8, which requires a final tight right turn just before touchdown. However, while having a research on how to do it properly, I saw a video from the Skylight Productions YouTube channel showing this. Bingo. I quickly realized that this approach was very different from the published Circle to Land. In fact, not only the initial approach phase initiates through the Funter Pass waypoint, but based on a comment on Skylight's video, this approach should also be called the Foxtrot approach, and its downwind leg should be flown at 2,000 feet. I was very excited. So, basing myself on this real-world video, I immediately started flying different flight paths, until I found the perfect one for this fictional approach. It's briefing time! First of all, we'll be starting our approach from Vivek, at around 10,000 feet. Then, I noticed that the intersection between these two segments looks approximately like the real right turn waypoint. 7,000 feet is the altitude I chose for this waypoint, as not only it guarantees obstacle separation, but looks very close to the real thing. After that, we'll descend until our pattern altitude of 2,000 feet, continuing over Funter Pass waypoint, Victor Papa 022, and our final approach point, George Rock, indicated as Victor Papa 031. After that, we'll continue straight to the airport, joining the left downwind for runway 26. We'll get very close to the mountain right here, in order to have as much space as possible for our base turn, which will be initiated once abeam Douglas Heliport. Terrain here is a very dangerous threat, so we'll keep an eye on it during the whole approach. Now, let's get back to the flight. Okay, as we descend, let's quickly get our performance tool and calculate our landing VREF. So we've got runway 26, condition dry, flaps 30, packs on, anti-ice set off, all the reversers are operative. Let's go for the brake free. No normal condition, and let's add 5 to the VREF. Let's calculate everything. We've got VREF 146, so it's going to be 141 plus 5.
Alaska 61, cleared for the Foxtrot approach, runway 26.
Here's for the Foxtrot approach, runway 26 for Alaska 61. Let's put 2000. Cabin crew, seats for landing, thank you. Passing 10,000. Lights coming on. Okay, we'll be having a steep descent now, so let's go for flaps 5. Let's quickly help ourselves with the speed brakes here. Let's also give some drag to this airplane, so gear down. The VREF. Wait, what? What's this weather change, MSFS? Wow. Okay, let's go for flaps 25. Juneau Tower, good morning from Alaska 61 on the Foxtrot approach runway 26.
Alaska 61, Juneau Tower, good morning to you. Do you still want to continue this approach? Weather change was crazy here.
We still have the runway clearly in sight and the approach path looks clear too, so we'll continue for Alaska 61.
Alaska 61, roger that. No traffic reported in the area. Runway 26, cleared to land.
Cleared to land runway 26 for Alaska 61.
2500.
Checked. Landing checklist. We got landing lights on. Turn off and taxi lights on. Engines and switches continuous. Auto brake free. Gear down 3 greens. Flaps 30 green light. Spoilers armed. Approaching 2000. Autopilot off. Auto thrust also off. Let's recycle the flight directors. Okay, let's maintain VREF plus 5 as our speed. And stabilize ourselves to 2000. Let's also set our ground altitude of 5,600 feet. Little bit high on speed. Maintaining altitude. Okay, this is gonna be really interesting. Let's set runway heading gear 260 and deactivate the terrain GVWS. Okay, now we'll actually have to turn towards this mountain over here and stay on its left. So let's watch out on the altitude. Oh wow, I never did something like this before. Okay, now we'll have to watch for that heliport over there. Once we are abeam it, we'll start our turn. We are really close to the mountain here. Okay, let's turn the turn in 3, 2, 1, now. There's our runway over there, looking good, aligning. There we go. Let's get back on glide.
500.
Checked. 3 whites, 1 red. Two reds, 2 whites.
300.
Okay, disregarding the puppies now. Checked.
50, 30, 20, 10.
Close. Perfect. Speed brakes up. Reverse as normal. Oh wow, man. 70 knots, reverse is off, manual braking. Let's get this one on the right. Oh my gosh, everyone. Welcome to Juneau. Wow, man, what an approach. Absolutely incredible stuff. I just had switches coming off. Turn off lights coming off. Landing lights. Strobe lights set to steady. Transponder set to alt off. This approach is also incredibly challenging, so make sure to check it out. And just for a disclaimer, the flight path demonstrated in this video is part of a very fun imaginary approach which I created based on my own interpretation of a real-world video and does not reveal any private information related to Alaska Airlines operations into these airports. Massive thanks to Skylight Productions for giving me permission of showing this clip. As always guys, I'll see you in the next one. Happy birthday, Flights in Passion!